These DEI hires in the Trump administration, like Pete Hegseth, the so-called Secretary of Defense, dumb effing individuals, continue to try to test our resolve and cancel our history. The latest is a book ban at the Naval Academy that removes works, including those about slavery, the civil rights movement, and the Holocaust. At the same time, keeping books written by Adolf Hitler. Apparently, for these extremists, racist Nazi ideology and white supremacy is okay. We're going to keep the pressure on these extremists who continue to try to whitewash our history. They tried to cancel Jackie Robinson. We reversed it. They tried to cancel Harriet Tubman. We reversed it. They tried to cancel the Tuskegee Airmen. We reversed it. We're going to keep the pressure on until this book ban is reversed. And Pete Hegseth.
Democrats continue to grasp at straws while the White House clears up any confusion regarding the tariffs on China. Multiple assassination plots against President Trump have been uncovered, with both of them being connected to the Ukraine. And Doge finds new fraud that's worth millions upon millions of taxpayer dollars. Hold on to your seats, folks. We got a lot of important topics to talk about today, starting with Democrats and their obsession with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. And hey guys, I keep getting messages from you guys, comments saying, hey Ron, I keep missing your videos. I keep missing the breaking news. Can you please make sure I get notified? So I've taken care of you guys. All you got to do is hit the link in the description down below this video or in the pinned comment and join the breaking news newsletter. That's it. Totally free. But first off, what the heck was Hakeem Jeffries wearing as he rallied against DEI hires? For the record, they're doing a play on word with DEI and calling Trump appointees as dumb effing individuals. Coming from the party that replaced Joe Biden with Kamala Harris. And I'm not sure if he's making an official statement or if he's just trying to film a music video. So he's also talking about DEI and LGBTQ plus books that were banned from the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. And since we're already here, I kind of want to read you guys a few titles of the ban. So there's the one titled Women with Mustaches and Men Without Beards, Gender and Sexual Anxieties of Iranian Modernity. Another one's called Men in Wonderland, The Lost Girlhood of the Victorian Gentleman. There's another book titled Toward a New Psychology of Gender. I believe that a majority of this country is just completely tired of this. Comment down below if you're tired of this nonsense. Because besides, of course, the Democrats that continue to push this agenda. Now, Pete Hegseth on his end, he had an answer for Hakeem Jeffries. According to the Defense Secretary, that's how far they've fallen. It's astonishing, not surprising. Now, of course, they don't like the fact that we're ripping DEI out of the military or making it colorblind and merit-based. If their whole strategy is minute-long videos on TikTok to call us names while we secure the southern border, kick out Chinese influence, revive the warrior culture inside of our military, that's why they lost in a historic fashion to President Trump last time, and their future looks just as bleak as well. Now, instead of focusing on books, you would think that Democrats would be ashamed of what they've created. I'm talking about radicals that may have been inspired by their violent rhetoric against President Trump.
Already facing charges for killing his mother and stepfather, 17-year-old Nikita Kassab from Waukesha became the subject of an extensive FBI search warrant.
It was alarming. I mean, it's not really something that you would think happening in such a small town like Waukesha.
Investigators discovered the teen's self-described manifesto that included making bombs, terrorist attacks, and plans for the assassination of President Donald Trump.
Just mind-blowing.
While investigating Kassab in the killings of Tatiana Kassab and Donald Mayer, authorities found material linking the teen to the Order of the Nine Angels, a network of neo-Nazis which advocates for violence and the destruction of modern civilizations. Kassab calling for Trump's assassination. He wrote, "By getting rid of the president, that is guaranteed to bring in some chaos. Not only that, it will further bring into the public the idea that assassinations and accelerating the collapse are possible." The warrant covered a number of Kassab's electronic devices, including his laptop and phone.
That's crazy to me because growing up, we didn't even really have the internet. If I ever have kids, there's definitely going to be parental controls on the internet, that's for sure.
The teen engaged with white nationalists online about his plans, writing, "My parents don't know, LOL. They would take my phone away if they did." Investigators believe Kassab may have killed his parents to get the, quote, financial means and autonomy needed to pursue his plan.
It is so true, and the fact that you just never know, what's kind of going on around you.
Investigators say Kassab made payments for an attack drone and planned to flee to Ukraine following his proposed assassination. In Waukesha,
the news is already shocking, but to hear Ukraine connected to a possible attempt on the president's life kind of reminds me of Ryan Routh. Routh planned to assassinate the president in his Palm Beach country club. And as we know, he also had alleged ties to the Ukraine, which kind of brings me to this next story where evidence was recently uncovered. It's being reported that Ryan Routh tried to buy an RPG or a rocket-propelled grenade off of Ukraine. Now, I don't know if they sell that on like maybe a Ukrainian Amazon or a Ukrainian eBay or something like that. But now remember, guys, we've sent billions of dollars worth of weapons to Ukraine, some of which seem to have found themselves into the black markets.
In a motion filed Monday, the government says 1 month prior to Ryan Routh's alleged attempt last September to assassinate President Trump at his Palm Beach golf course, Routh tried to purchase a rocket-propelled grenade or anti-aircraft missile from an associate he believed to be a Ukrainian with access to military weapons. Communicating through an encrypted messaging app, Routh allegedly asked his associate to, quote, send me an RPG or Stinger and I will see what we can do. Trump is not good for Ukraine. He sent the associate an image of Trump's campaign plane, writing, Trump's plane, he gets on and off daily. And the government argues Routh signaled his intent when he wrote, I need equipment so that Trump cannot get elected. The two also discussed Thomas Crook's attempt on Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania in July 2024, with Routh writing, quote, I wish. The filing does not identify who Routh was communicating with or whether it was actually a Ukrainian with military connections or anyone he met when he traveled to Ukraine in 2022 in a failed attempt to join a volunteer fighting force. DOJ lawyers also allege Routh attempted unsuccessfully on multiple occasions to purchase a military-grade .50 caliber rifle, and the motion outlines Routh's communication with a human smuggler in Mexico regarding an escape plan.
It's weird how these would-be assassins are both talking about Ukraine, right? With one planning an escape there and the other wanting to buy weapons from them. Now, this could all be just pure coincidence, but we have to admit that the optics don't look all that great. Moving on, guys. Critics of the president have called out his exceptions for China's tariffs, claiming that he bowed out when the pressure was high. But Stephen Miller recently went on Fox News to clarify that this was the plan all along and that everything's going according to what the president wants.
You were targeting specific items from day one. Walk us through these exemptions, Stephen, and what they mean.
Yes, this is just another great example of how President Trump had a detailed plan from the beginning that's being executed exactly as directed. And unfortunately, some in the media are deliberately misportraying that plan. The original 20% IEPA, that's the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, for China poisoning our citizens with fentanyl, that 20% rate is and continues to be applied to all imports from China. When the president issued his reciprocal tariffs, our government at the time specifically said that chips and semiconductors, which are critical components of our national security, were going to be dealt with through a separate commerce authority known as a 232. That was always the plan because those components are so essential to our national security. We need to have a separate process for dealing with how to reshore those essential industries.
That's as clear as Miller can make it. This was the plan all along. So while mainstream media will use it to say that the president made exceptions, it couldn't be further from the truth. But as we all know, legacy media will always go out of their way to try and report negatively about the current administration. Now, if you have a job and you're struggling with the 9-to-5, you might get pissed off with this next story. That's because DOJ found even more fraud and corruption within the federal government, with individuals claiming on unemployment insurance, claims that amount to millions of dollars. Watch.
I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And some of it is just absurd, like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't been born yet. I mean, I think anyone can appreciate whether, I mean, come on, that's just crazy.
I know that was just 1 year. All right. DOJ also found hundreds of millions of dollars in fake unemployment claims. Get this, guys. Since 2020, over 24,000 people over 115 years old claimed $59 million in benefits. 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old claimed $254 million. Nearly 10,000 with birth dates over 15 years in the future claimed $69 million. And in one case, someone with a birthday in 2154 claimed $41,000. Because now apparently we're all time traveling. And yet Democrats are still trying to run Elon Musk out of town. Axios reports that they're launching a campaign to oust him by May 30th on a, quote, legal technicality where Musk's special government employee status can't exceed 130 days. Now, failed vice presidential candidate Tim Walz has been lobbying nonstop attacks on Musk.
What my beef is, once you get successful, don't be a greedy and not pay your taxes. But I don't think we should be the party that demonizes someone because they're able to afford something or they're able to work hard and got something. What we should demonize is people like Elon Musk and those people that do that. And that's different.
Haley, all right, let's go in reverse cron here. So I'm going to do the last one first.
Thank you. Yes.
Which is the audacity of Governor Walz to single out Elon Musk as like a bad billionaire. When we talk about contributions to society, he's done nothing but help this society, medical developments, rescuing astronauts and more. And yet George Soros, for example, a billionaire that has led directly to the destruction of society, deaths, and yet that's who Walz is calling to demonize?
Well, guys, the great wealth transfer is in full effect. Our freedoms are being stolen, guys. Credit card companies are out to get us. And if you don't understand the game, well, you end up getting played by the game. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, you know, you were probably out of shape, maybe in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and just feeling like the system is just completely taking advantage of you. I remember for a long time, I could rarely ever get any time to spend with my wife. And through trial and error and through a lot of pain, I figured out how to gain freedom and also lose a lot of weight and actually get in shape. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a game changer. To no longer be living paycheck to paycheck, figuring out how to get the credit cards to pay me, the power of a strong credit score. I pay thousands of dollars less per year for the same house as my neighbor just because my credit is better than his is. And this is not to brag. I mean, but this is the truth. The banks are literally taking advantage of the poor. It's like the people who can least afford it, they're charging the poor what is like unofficially called a poor tax or a tax on the poor. I mean, I'm now at a point where, you know, like, number one, I don't pay for credit cards. In fact, credit card companies pay me to use their cards. And I figured out how to build a lifestyle that is just ultimately very, very healthy. I lost a tremendous amount of weight and I put on a lot of muscle. But when I was struggling, I wish I knew people who knew these things. So anyway, I decided to create a community of like-minded people who are also interested, just like me, in living better. So if you guys want to join my community, it's called the Liberty Pursuit Network. It is brand new. Come on over. I'd love to have you guys and join like-minded people. Be positively motivated by others who are also on the same pursuit. So I'm going to leave a link for you guys so you can join me over on the Life Pursuit Network in the description down below this video. So check it out, guys, and let's not be a victim of this great wealth transfer that is taking place right now. So here's the painful truth about what Democrats are doing here. They don't like that someone is auditing the federal government. They're not comfortable with the idea of Americans being aware, or at least made aware, of where our taxpayer dollars are going. And by that idea alone, it's easy to conclude that they don't want Elon Musk to find whatever it is that they're hiding up in there. There's just no way to explain it since Democrats have been shouting about cutting government spending for so long. But the minute that someone actually does something about it, they freak out. Now, while guys like Tim Walz and Jeffries are lost causes, the same cannot be said for Bill Maher. A comedian recently had a dinner with the president, one that he talked about on his show. Now, I covered this in a previous live stream, and you're not going to believe what he said. Make sure you guys check that one out because this could be the start of something big. Anyway, appreciate y'all hitting the like button and for subscribing to the channel. See you next time.